Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would remind the gentleman who just yelled at us that his party's in charge. And he's talking about jamming things down the throats of Democrats in the Senate and the White House as if somehow that's a way to get anything done for the American people. He talks about standing up. I mean, what did they do when we were on the verge of shutting the government down? They didn't stand up. Democrats had to stand up and save the day. But there's one thing that the gentleman has said that I do agree with, is when he came to the floor and he shouted, like, one thing. I want my Republican colleagues to tell me one thing, that I can go back and campaign on and say that we did. One material, meaningful, significant thing the Republican majority has done. And the bottom line is, he's right. The Republican majority in this House has done nothing to help the American people. It is a disgrace. It is political malpractice. And the bills that we're debating here today, you know, that they're making sound like, oh, if we pass these bills and once the ink dries, this is the law. I mean, these bills are going nowhere. These bills are going nowhere. I mean, what they do is tell you about values. I mean, the gentlelady from Indiana mentioned in her opening remarks that student loan forgiveness is, quote, not fair because not everybody goes to college. I mean, think about that. Not fair? By her logic, public high schools aren't fair. Public middle schools aren't fair. Public elementary schools aren't fair. I mean, my kids aren't in middle school or high school anymore, but I'm proud that my tax dollars help pay for other people's kids to get an education. That's how it should work. It helps make us more competitive. It strengthens our country when our students are the best educated in the world. It's the right thing to do. The bottom line is that Republicans seem to think that education is just not a good idea, that somehow we don't benefit from a well-educated workforce. But they're wrong. They're wrong. Democrats have a different view. We believe education is important, and we ought to support it. We believe more Americans having a good education helps everyone. You know, we believe more Americans with college degrees uplifts our whole economy, not just those who go to college. So if my colleagues oppose student loan forgiveness because it isn't fair, that's what they say, I guess they just want to get rid of our whole public education system. And I know some of them do. I hear them bash public education every chance they get. But I think most people think that's nuts. So, I mean, again, we have an opportunity to do something meaningful to help people, and we bring these bills to the floor. I guess they're filler. You know, I don't know, maybe they make good posts on social media for the Republican base, but this is a complete waste of time. And so the gentleman from Texas was right when he said, you know, name one thing that Republicans have done. And the bottom line is he couldn't, and nobody came to help him out because my friends on the other side have done nothing. I reserve my time.
Gentleman from Massachusetts reserves.